Hello everyone, this is a short video for Module 1, and it would be 1.2, 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3. For all work that we do here at Southern New Hampshire University in every class, you need to use citations. Citations are also known as references for our purposes here. What we want to do, okay, is you start here. Let's go back here for a moment, okay? And actually, no, let's go here. So how do you use this reference? Okay, it's not something you can skip or avoid or just gloss over. Why? None of these are our original thoughts. Okay, so what you're going to do is to go down here to the Citing Your Sources guide, and it's going to take you to APA Style Guide. Now, notice this link takes you to this feature of Shapiro Library. You have to create an APA style reference or citation. So what you can ignore these other two. You use APA style, okay, in this class. So we click here and we go down here and we go to the APA style guide, okay? Now, it's going to give you some examples, okay? Notice if you watched the prior video that you saw, here we go, print journals or magazine or electronic journals. Basically what we're going to do is look at this, okay? So this takes you down to kind of a generic format. Again, though, if we're looking at the Shapiro Library website, if you're actually looking at the journal articles, and you should have seen those the prior video, right? Then what you're going to do here is to cite your work using the element that is included in the journal citation. But for now, what you want to do, let's go down here to Module 1, and you want to cite. Here are the places where you need to use a citation. Okay, in 1.1, discussion getting started. Here's a discussion prompt. Okay. Always review the discussion rubric. Okay, that's part of Module 1. 1.2, sociological observation, where you're going to make an observation, okay, of the world, your lived experience out in the world. Okay, again, for this you need to use a citation. Sometimes a citation will just be as simple as the textbook chapter here, right? So what we would do is we would go back, here, Real World Introduction to Sociology by Carrie Ferris and Jill Stein. So we go down here, and then finally your final project guidelines and rubric we've covered in the previous video. You're going to need to learn how to use references for that. But let's take a look at some of the elements of this final project guidelines and rubric that you're going to need to do. Okay. So basically, what you're going to need to do is maybe do a review of the literature, narrow your focus, and look at some of these resources, which I'm going to embed here. Okay. Many of these are useful. Many of these are going to be useful because they'll have journal articles, right? The Pew Trust, the General Social Survey, the U.S. Census Bureau, okay? The Bureau of Labor Statistics, Uniform Crime Report, National Crime Victimization Survey, and finally the CIA World Factbook. So what are these useful for? What are these data sets useful for? Okay, let's go over here and click back on the final guidelines project and rubric. Okay, If you remember from the last video, you cannot merely write a paper about bullying. You have to specify, right? So what you would do, and indeed for crime and violence or drug and alcohol abuse, same deal. So let's go ahead and look at the Uniform Crime Report over here. So I've clicked on this link, and you'll see the link. This link will be accompanying this video here. And it is a it is Uniform Crime Report, okay? It'll take you to this FBI website that talks about the Uniform Crime Report, okay? And what it does is look at different topics, okay? The Crime Data Explorer, okay? Law enforcement, suicide, data collection. Basically, there are all sorts of topics here, okay? Now, I want to go over here and look at some topics. Let's search some topics here. The National Incident-Based Reporting System, okay? Okay, and this is the new way of reporting crime, okay? So then down here, okay, so you've narrowed it down, okay? I'm going to look at these years. You can click on the year, and it'll give you crime in the U.S. Here's one, crime in the United States. Let's look at 2019. Again, we're sitting here as I'm videotaping this in 2022. You go, wait a minute, 2019 was 3 years ago. There's a lead time of about 2 to 3 years, or a lag time, I should say, between the time the data is compiled and submitted to the FBI and the time when it is submitted. This is true for all of this data, right? So here we go. Let's go down here. And this is a great overview of okay, we want to narrow this down. You can't just do crime and violence. So let's look at violent crime. And it gives you a definition of violent crime. And it does it by these categories, which are called index crimes. So if crime and violence out here in your very general topic is what you want to look at, then you want to you want to look at this. So let's go ahead and look at the statistics for rape or sexual assault. Okay, it gives a definition of rape. Okay, it talks about data collection and expanded data. Okay, and it also tells you what you won't find on this page: clearance and arrest data for rape. Okay. So basically, you could browse by metropolitan statistical area. Say I'm going to look at I want to go down here and look at Cincinnati, Ohio, where I live. So I go down here and I'm going to go down here. I'm going to scroll down here to Cincinnati. Okay, and it gives you a definition of the area. And in this column here, it gives you the number of incidents. Now, what is this? We have a number. We have some stuff you have to remember too. Okay, let's go up and look at the population here. Okay, you have population, violent crime. Okay, rape, robbery, aggravated assault. Okay, so Cincinnati, right, where I am, you have to keep these in mind to use this data. Okay. It's got the city, the total area reporting, estimated total. It's got all this data up here. So actually for 2019, in this column here, the estimated total 1,480 was 1,486 rapes or sexual assaults. Now notice this down here. Right? This is rate per 100,000 inhabitants. What this allows you to do, right? And you want to do this as you're writing, rather than saying rape is bad. We know that. Okay, you don't need to do that when you're writing. You want to go, this is a problem. What this will allow you to do is to compare Cincinnati with, for example, other places. So here we go. Here's it's 67 per 100,000 incidents of there's 67 rapes per 100,000 versus if I look at Cleveland, another city in Ohio, it's 120 rapes. So this is one way that you can look at this data. Okay, you can use this data kind of to frame your question. Okay, if you're looking at a social problem, okay, then that's it. Okay. It'll give you a great resource, for comparing across different geographies, particularly your home area. So that's one aspect of using this uniform crime report. Let's look at another data set for a moment. The crime victimization. So I've clicked on this link here, the National Crime Victimization Survey. It takes me to this website. So let's start looking around. Let's look at topics. Okay. Victims of crime. Okay. National Survey of Crime Victimization Survey is what we want to look at. It takes us out here. And this takes you to publications and products. Okay. So, you have a number of topics you can expand, stalking, criminal hate crime victimization, and you could indeed, I think you can go up here and search rape. You could go rape victimization. Okay, let's see here. Okay, hate crime, criminal victimization, and it gives you the years. Okay, again, this gives you data from the Bureau of Justice Statistics. Okay, and I'm going to look at the summary, the data tables actually, and the full report here. Okay, let's open this up. Okay, I've clicked a number of links, and the one that's going to be most useful for our purposes here is the summary link. You'll see a summary. Okay? And so, it's going to go victimization, okay? And then it's going to tell you rate of violent crime declined 15%. It was driven partly by a decline in rape or sexual assault victimizations, which declined from 2.7 in 2018 to 1.7 in 2019. Okay, and then you can get all kinds of information. You're going to have to dig around a lot, but what this does is to give you a very good picture of a specific topic. You cannot write a paper on crime and violence. You can't do it. But if you narrow your focus and you use these data sets to do that, you're going to do well.